They raised my salary by a massive total of 2%. It was as ridiculous as it sounds. I told my boss that this was literal betrayal, and they were going back on their word. But he said there's nothing he can do as it has already been decided. I tried arguing, but he was very dismissive and basically told me to keep working hard and wait for the 1-year mark. At that moment, I realized that these guys were trying to deceive me into working for chump change. I knew that the promise about giving me my bonus at the 1-year mark was also another lie, so I immediately began looking for another job. I also stopped putting any real effort into my job except the bare minimum. Clients were complaining to my boss that their work was no longer being done on time. But he knew that the reason for this was his own empty promises. As we approached the yearly mark, the corporate office caught wind of my massive drop in efficiency, and called me to ask what was going on. I saw my chance and told them the entire truth. About how I was lied to about my employment benefits and that they were underpaying me by a landslide. I had also secured another job by that point, so I handed in my resignation letter in that meeting itself. It turns out that this scheme was a shady operation by my boss and another manager, and the higher executives didn't have any idea about it. They were really mad. First, they decided to give me my 6-month bonus as an apology and asked me to not leave with a bad impression of their company. Then, they decided to close down the branch that I had worked at, and put my boss out of a job. But that wasn't the end of it. Apparently, he was also involved in some tax evasion stuff and the corporate office reported him to the IRS, so now he may end up in jail. To think that none of this would have happened if he just paid me what he promised.